Hi. So, I'm Boyd Reed, and welcome to my very first extremely awkward vlog. Why am I vlogging? Well, I am a big fan of both Andrew Neeme and Jeff Gross, and they have put out a challenge where you have to do at least one vlogging task a week. So, this is my first vlog where I'm going to tell you guys who I am and what poker means to me. So, the first part, who am I? Well, I am 44 years old. I am a native of East St. Louis, Illinois, and a lifelong St. Louis Cardinals fan. So, why am I wearing this Duquesne shirt? Because I got an MBA from Duquesne University in Pittsburgh, and I did my undergrad at the University of Illinois. Go Illini. I am 44 years old. I have a 15-year-old son, and he is a big focus in my life, as is my job. I work for these guys, the U.S. Chess Federation, where I am the director of events. So, what do you do as the director of events? I am responsible for organizing a lot of our national tournaments. I'm also responsible for dealing with international event issues, tournament director certification, things like that. So it's an administrative job. I don't actually get to play a lot of chess anymore, but I really love the game, and I've always been a big supporter of it. And I'm a big supporter of the people who enjoy playing it and working in it. I started out my life in information technology as a web developer, and then moved over to quality assurance, and then this job opened up out of the blue. This is not something that your guidance counselor necessarily tells you about, but when the opportunity came, I was blessed enough to be able to take it, and now I get to wake up every morning and work to advance this game that has meant so much to me. And so that is the joy that I get, working for this nonprofit organization, advancing the cause of a game that I think is really a ticket to wherever you want to go in the world if you're willing to work hard and focus on improving and getting better at whatever aspect of the game you're involved with. So, that's who I am. What does all of that mean? Why am I doing this vlog? Well, I don't actually have any illusions about winning the Platinum Pass that Jeff and Andrew are giving away. I'm not all that creative, and truthfully, I'm scared to death to be actually talking into a camera because I usually do everything I can to stay out of the public eye. I'm much more comfortable doing the grunt work behind the scenes, planning things, laying things out, and I'm happy to leave the photo ops and the cheers to other people. But I have a job that is, as my boss has pointed out, a public job. I am a public figure to some extent working for the Federation. And so I need to get more comfortable being out front a little bit. I'd rather chew yesterday's breakfast than be a public figure, but I do love my job and I want to keep it, so I need to learn more about how to do sort of the front-facing things, and that dovetails nicely with a lot of the things Andrew talked about as far as getting more comfortable with being in public. So that is something I'm going to try to work on, and hopefully this vlogging challenge will help me build up some very rudimentary skills. As you can see, I'm just in my office / spare bedroom at my house. I am not going to put up a lot of fancy backgrounds or anything like that. I'm not going to filter this. I may edit some of it every now and then, but just to add graphics and things like that. I want you to see who I am and hear me talk and not have me doing a bunch of takes. So whatever I put out here is what you'll see. The question of what poker means to me, I started college at age 15, and the guys on the campus of Shimer College, which is where I went at first, they played a lot of poker. Now, they played 7-card stud, sometimes straight, sometimes high-low, sometimes Chicago, which is high card, high spade in the hole wins half the pot, and otherwise it's straight 7-card high. So that's the first game I really learned how to play. Hold'em was not that big 29 years ago when I started playing. I mean, it was certainly the game of choice for the World Series, but you know, in a lot of local rooms, you know, 7-card stud, either spread limit or fixed limit were still pretty big games. So that's where I got my start playing. And as Hold'em grew in popularity, especially, you know, post Rounders and post Chris Moneymaker, I moved over and started playing more of it. And now I would say I probably spend more time playing Omaha than anything else. Straight high or high-low sometimes. And I mean, I still like to play Hold'em. I still like to play tournaments in both Hold'em and Omaha. But I would say that I am a low to mid-stakes player. I'm nothing special in that regard. I have tried to study some, but what poker really means to me, and the reason I enjoy it, is a lot like chess. It's very egalitarian. It's equal. You know, you don't get a lot of inequity other than skill and ability. I mean, poker, yes, there's luck, of course, and you know, obviously there's not much luck in chess, although there is some, and there is some bluffing in chess, although there's not as much as in poker. But in the long term in poker, skill tells the story. And while it's possible for one player to occasionally get very hot and go on a streak at a tournament or at a couple of tournaments or in a couple of cash games, the best players in the world tell year after year after year. You always see them, you know, making runs in major events or doing well in cash games. And those are the guys that I'd like to try to emulate what they do, and I'd like to get to their level at some point. I don't have any illusions about being, you know, a Phil Ivey or a Phil Hellmuth or a, you know, Justin Bonomo or anyone like that. I'm hoping that I can get to the point where I can cash consistently in large events and maybe occasionally take one down. But what poker means to me is equality of opportunity. It means putting everybody on a level footing and then letting their skill tell the tale. It's about personal control. It's about trying to control the uncontrollable, or trying to control how you react to the uncontrollable. You can't do anything about luck, but what you can do is something about how you deal with it and how you approach negative situations, and whether or not your analysis is good and your approach is good. And it forces you to be honest with yourself, much like chess does. You know, if you're breaking down in your hand or you're breaking down your play, you can't really hide from the truth of what you did. And by coming to a reckoning with your game, you can improve and get better, and you can see that over time. So that's who I am. That's what poker is to me. I hope to express more things in this vlog besides just, you know, talking about the poker challenge from Andrew and Jeff. But in the meantime, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.